Good afternoon from Blackpool Pleasure Beach, where I'm here this afternoon to get back on Valhalla. Now, it was only a few weeks ago that Valhalla came out of the technical rehearsal period, and it's now officially open to all the guests down here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Valhalla usually opens from 12 noon and runs right through until park closure, which is usually 5 PM down here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. But this afternoon, I'm going to be getting multiple rides on Valhalla. I know you probably think I'm crazy. I'm going to be going in there at least 2 times today, going on it, going around and getting my full review of this attraction that recently reopened down here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. But with that said, let's head over to Valhalla and get back on this brilliant attraction. After 3 seasons of reimagining Valhalla, it's finally reopened here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. And yeah, it builds up quite a queue here daily here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. But yeah, during the reimagining, they also did quite a lot of work to the exterior of Valhalla, like all of this entrance facade just here as well. These were all here before, but they've just opened it up a lot more and made it into more of an area rather than just a ride. You've got all these planting beds here, the trees, all this was new, and yeah, it just looks way better than before. Sort of like Valhalla is in like a forest. Like if you get it from that angle, it looks like there could be loads of trees around it. But yeah, it's great to see Valhalla having a queue, back open in full force down here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Doesn't look like there's too big of a queue. And also there in the distance, you can see they're selling ponchos, or rain capes as they call them. That shop's now all open there as well. So if you do forget to bring a poncho, they are on offer here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. But with that said, let's head in the queue line and get back on Valhalla. And here's a quick look at the restriction board for Valhalla as well. Open from 12 noon to 5 PM, and there's your different restrictions. You must be 117 centimetres with an adult, or 132 centimetres without an adult. And bear in mind, there's 3 different drops on Valhalla, and they are quite steep, and you do get quite a lot of airtime as well. So yeah, just bear that in mind if you're not a big fan of huge drops, because this ride sure does have them. The time has finally come to experience Valhalla down here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. And yeah, the queue line really has died down from this afternoon when it first opened at around about 12 PM. But yeah, it really died down. But unfortunately, there's so much litter down here in the queue line, unfortunately. People buy their ponchos, unravel it and just put it on the floor. Such a shame, because they have got bins provided around the queue line. It's nothing of Pleasure Beach's fault. People just need to put it in the bin, because really that's disgraceful, that litter there on the floor. Unbelievable that people just throw it on there and think it's acceptable. But yeah, we're going to head on Valhalla. That's really annoyed me actually. Such a nice plaza that Pleasure Beach have done. They put bins around and people decide to put it on the floor. Not great, to be honest. But anyway, we're heading the queue line and get our first ride on Valhalla. Doesn't it look great there though? With all the mist pouring out, you can just see the sign. We'll get a closer look of it in a minute. And all the waterfalls there plummeting down the rockwork. But yeah, it looks really nice. Really excited to get a ride on Valhalla. And yeah, you've got the rain cape there just in case if you've got to bring some ponchos on your ride on Valhalla. I definitely recommend ponchos. But yeah, with that said, let's go in the queue line. Only looks around 10 minutes, to be honest. There's just a little bit of a queue inside the station, which I'll show you. But yeah, let's head inside Valhalla. Here we go then, got the poncho on, the Merlin Fun for All poncho. And yeah, gonna head into Valhalla. Very exciting. Well, it's great to be back in this queue line here for Valhalla. Last time we would have been in this was 2019 season. And yeah, it's great to finally be back in it and get back on what is one of the best water rides in the world. So yeah, here in the Valhalla queue, you still have to scan your e-ticket, which is so backwards, because people have got their phones out, and yeah, you've got to scan it, and then you're literally about to get on the ride. So I've heard stories about people's phones being damaged from the water of the ride, but you've still got to scan it before you head in, which is just so backwards in my opinion. Literally, you need to get rid of this system, especially on a ride like Valhalla. But nonetheless, great to be back in here. There's official opening. Valhalla, everyone. Wow, doesn't the station look great? With all the lights up there as well. Yeah, it looks really nice. Alright, let's head on. Look, I love how these people just down here have got like a little scarf on them, thinking that it's going to be like a little sprinkle. Hey, there we go. Little do they know they're going to get an absolute soaking. Like they've just got out of the shower. I love it. I love how people go on here not expecting it to be too wet. And they come up absolutely drenched. So funny. I've just had my first ride on Valhalla, and there's no denying the fact that that ride is an absolute soaker. There's 3 different drops in there. The second drop is filled with airtime along with the third, and you get absolutely soaked. But to tell you what, my first and initial reactions to that, it's looking so much better compared to how it was looking during the technical rehearsal period. Honestly, it's looking so much better. Effects are working, loads of different props in there. It's looking really good. But before I give my full review, I'm going to go on and take a second ride on Valhalla to soak up everything that this attraction has to offer. With that said, let's get back in the queue line and experience Valhalla for the second time. Look how wet my shorts are from Valhalla. Look at that, they're damp and they're sort of dried a little bit, but they are quite wet. And my jumper also, the ends are really quite wet. I definitely recommend, if you're going on Valhalla, bring a poncho, or if you're brave, go in on your normal clothes, but you will get soaked. So yeah, I thought before another ride on Valhalla, I'd come here to a Loki's bar, and they do loads of different stuff in here. Chicken, potatoes, chips. I'll put the full menu up for you now. And yeah, if you didn't know, this used to be the old station for the monorail that used to go around Pleasure Beach. But I've ordered a chicken and potatoes and also gravy, so we'll see what it looks like when it comes out. Shouldn't take too long. Just a quick little look then at the food provided by Loki's bar, and yeah, doesn't that look really nice? You've got the chicken there in the middle, nicely cooked, and also the potatoes down there, and of course you can't have all that and not have a pot of gravy. Yeah, look at that, nice and juicy, nice and thick, very nice. But yeah, we'll get on and eat this chicken before I head back on Valhalla. Not going to talk too much because it's getting cold. With that said though, let's tuck in, and you also get season pass discount here as well. So there we go, just finished the chicken and potatoes, and I've got to say, some of the best theme park food I've had for a very long time. That's what happens when you visit Alton Towers more often than Pleasure Beach. You get used to the Aramark food. But with that said, I'm going to pop the poncho back on and head back on Valhalla. This cheeky little seagull here has just had a nice little bite of someone's chicken. Look at him, look there, look. Got a fight with a seagull, look at him there. Oh my god. Wow, what's going on? But I tell you what, a spot of bother there with the seagulls in Loki's bar. Probably best to eat inside. But yeah, I'm going to take another ride here on Valhalla. Let's go. Yeah, look, on my poncho I've got like a fancy string system. Very good by Merlin, yeah, come in handy for Valhalla. Yeah, just look at all this litter here on the queue, in the queue line. Such a shame, because Pleasure Beach have provided bins. The guests just don't seem to care and just throw it on the floor. Such a shame. Well, it's nearing the end of the day here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and there's still plenty of people ready to ride Valhalla, which is great to see. I'm going to go on Icon and dry off a bit, so you stay around and I'll give you my full Valhalla review in just a few minutes. But yeah, look at that. So great to see. So many people enjoying Valhalla. So coincidentally, it started to absolutely chuck it down here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, but I've come under a little bit of shelter by the Tango ice blast queue to quickly film this review. I'm going to keep it short and sweet for my benefit and for your sakes at home. I mean, I'm getting absolutely soaked here. I might as well have gone on Valhalla for the 4th time. I've had 3 different rides here on Valhalla today, each offering a different experience. And I'm going to start off with my first ride. So many more effects working in technical rehearsals. If you came on Valhalla during the technical rehearsals period, you can tell, and if you ride it now, you can definitely tell this is sort of the finished product that we're getting with Valhalla. So many effects in there working. It is really a world-class ride. Really good. I want to start off by talking about the 3 drops in there. Brilliant, brilliant drops. So thrilling. So much airtime in there as well. There's no sort of seatbelt or safety restraint on there. So plenty of airtime offered, especially with the last 2 drops. Of course, the first drop is no longer backwards. You spin around on the turntable and then go through that drop forwards. And I'm going to talk about that turntable a little bit later on. Starting off with the first bit of the ride then, you head through the tunnel, and you've got this scene sort of to the right, and you've got this figure standing there. It's all lit up gold, very good lighting, and then you head to the first lift hill where you can see a huge V, and it's all lit up really well. The use of lighting in this ride is really, really good, much better compared to the original Valhalla, which opened in the year 2000. You can hear the thunder behind me, can you hear that? Wow, it's going to start chucking it down. Then you head up the first lift hill, and yeah, this lift hill is really, really loud. It'd be good to see Pleasure Beach find a way of sort of muting this lift hill, because the soundtrack is actually quite good for this ride, and I've developed sort of a love for it. I think it is really, really good, made by the Notable Stranger, that one. And yeah, really good soundtrack, but it's sort of drowned out by the really loud noise of the lift hill, which is a bit of a shame because it ruins the atmosphere that the soundtrack and the lighting creates. You've also got all the walls there on top of you and also to the side. You've got the one big wall and also to the side. Those are all from the original Valhalla. Make your way up the lift hill and then you head into the steam room. Now the steam room is a really cool part of Valhalla. You've got all the heat coming in from there and all the LED lighting and all the mist, which makes it look like fire. It is a really good part of Valhalla, definitely one of my favourites because it's just got that temperature increase, and it is really, really cool because unfortunately the ice room is no longer cold. It used to be like -5, I think it was even -10 degrees in there sometimes. So you could really feel the difference, but unfortunately the ice room now is just normal temperature, which is a bit of a shame, but it's nice to see in the steam room that they have got a temperature change in there. Sound like I'm doing science now, don't I? But yeah, anyway, you head down you go into the turntable before you head into the first drop of the ride. Only a small little drop, that one, but still it's quite a punch, that drop. And yeah, this turnaround section has all been redone. You've got like a face above you. But unfortunately, on my last 2 rides on Valhalla, there was no audio, so it just looked very strange and people were very confused on the boat. So definitely need to get that audio working. But on the first ride I had, there was audio on that, so that was quite good. And it's basically saying you've got to get out of here, turn around, and yeah, you turn around and head down that drop forwards. But yeah, the turntable section, I would have liked it to be open so you could see a view of Blackpool. However, it does make it more enclosed and more atmospheric, so I can see both sides of the argument. But anyway, you head down the first drop of the ride, you're greeted by a huge gush of water from the side of you. If you're front row on the left, it's the worst. Trust me, I've just experienced it. But yeah, then you head round to the right, quite a lot of dark section here, and then you head into the ice room, a really cool part of the ride. Unfortunately, no temperature change, as I said earlier. But yeah, you head in, there's loads of different props in here. You've got like an ice angel, which looks really cool, a snow machine, like a wrecked boat as well. Really cool part of the ride, do enjoy that, especially with the snow machines. Like, all this wasn't working in technical rehearsals. So if you're coming back here and you're experiencing doing technical rehearsals, you will be amazed because so much more is working. You then exit the ice room and then you've got the huge water vortex, which is really, really cool. Nice to see that back on, because when I went on technical rehearsals, that was all turned off. But yeah, it gets you a little bit wet, that one as well, because a lot of the water jets don't have enough pressure to go around, so they sort of get you in the middle there. So the ice room and the vortex are really cool parts of Valhalla, definitely some of my favourite parts. You then exit the water vortex, and yeah, not really much happens here. I can't really remember it, to be honest. I'm going to just point out some of the key sections, because it really is raining now. So you've got some bells which look really cool, they're all new. When you're going up the lift hill as well, the 3rd lift hill this is, you can see like all lights at the top, which looks really cool. The hammers and logs are 2 highlights of the ride, which have been kept from the original. Probably 2 of the best effects. Shows that the old ones are just some of the best. You've got the 2 big logs that come down and make a huge splash, which is really cool. And you've also got the log rolling along the top. A new sort of effect, I think it's a new effect anyway, or have I just not noticed it before? You've got the arrows shooting, and they also create a nice little fire as well. They look like they've been shot across you, and they go into the wall and they create like a little flame effect. That's a really cool one. I didn't notice that until someone on the boat pointed it out to me. But yeah, really cool effect there. And then of course you've got the last drop of the ride, which is very steep and so much airtime, a double down on this one. And yeah, you splash in and you get soaked on this one. You've got all of the fire. On my last ride, all of the fire was working. You've got all the boats coming up, the huge blast of fire. On my first 2 rides, those effects weren't unfortunately working. So it shows that Valhalla is quite temperamental. It really depends what ride you get on it. In terms of my rides, my 3rd ride was definitely the best one I had. The first ride was good because on the turnaround section they had all that audio working, but you can't beat the 3rd one with all the fire working. Overall though, Valhalla is a great ride, and it's great to see it back open here at Pleasure Beach. Definitely world class, and it's so much different compared to technical rehearsals. So much better, so many effects in there, it really is great to see. But with all that said, if you do want to see my initial thoughts on Valhalla and see what I thought when it was in technical rehearsals, go and check out that video, and then you can sort of see my 2 different thoughts on it, because it is completely 2 different experiences. But with that said, if you did enjoy the video, do consider subscribing. The next vlog here on the channel will be a general part vlog from Pleasure Beach, and also, if you haven't already, go and check out the latest Nemesis construction, which is already up on the channel. But with that said, I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.